Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You'll excuse the fact that I'm out of breath, but about 10 or 15 minutes ago, a tragic thing, from all indications at this point, has happened in the city of Dallas. President Kennedy and Governor John Connally have been cut down by assassins' bullets in downtown Dallas.
We're back with our special report on the 60th anniversary of the JFK assassinations. We take a deep and critical dive into the various theories, conspiracy and otherwise, that have persisted over the years. People often forget that Congress, yes, Congress, evaluated this question many years later. In 1976, the House Select Committee on Assassination agreed with many of the Warren Commission findings, but determined that they got it wrong in its finding that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. It's worth noting that they had actually written a draft report supportive of the Warren Commission findings until at the last minute, a key piece of audio evidence was presented that apparently swayed them. That finding was based on audio purportedly capturing a fourth shot, which the committee concluded would have likely come from a second shooter positioned on the grassy knoll. It's the only known audio of Kennedy's assassination. It was picked up on an open mic on a police motorcycle. Listen carefully. Hard to hear, but the House committee compared the audio with a reconstruction of gunshots in Dealey Plaza. But 3 years later, the National Academy of Sciences found that the supposed gunshots were simply radio static. The rest of the House Select Committee's other findings were largely in line with the Warren Commission. Oswald fired 3 shots, the third shot was the kill shot, etc. So, in retrospect, does this support the findings of the commission? How much weight should the findings be given within the subsequent historical context? Let's bring back Burt Griffin, Mark Zaid, Mark Shaw. But let's start with Robert Groden. He actually served as a photographic consultant for the House Select Committee on Assassinations. How significant do you think the findings should be?
I think they should be extremely important and followed through. You just showed Gerald Ford before the break, and Ford and he was violating his secrecy oath and reporting to the FBI on a weekly basis about what was going on, and he's the one who changed the location of the president's back wound. The wound was in the back about 6 to 7 inches below the shoulder. He put it in the back of the president's neck to allow a downward angle from the 6th floor of the depository, since the wound in the throat was above the knot in the tie.
What's his motivation to do that? I mean, you're basically saying that Gerald Ford corrupted the findings. Why would Gerald Ford or anyone else corrupt the findings when, as Burt Griffin points out, the way to really get attention, the way to really get appreciation is to say there was a conspiracy?
It depends on who you're looking at for the idea of appreciation. He was reporting to the FBI on a weekly basis. He's the one who wanted the single bullet theory to be accepted. He's the one who sold it to the Warren Commission. He didn't create it, but he sold it. And there's just no way to deal with it. I could show you right now the autopsy photograph of the president's back showing where it was. And then Ford arbitrarily performed what I call verbal plastic surgery by saying it was in the back of the president's neck. There was no hole in the back of the president's neck.
All right, Burt, were you sold by Gerald Ford?
Gerald Ford, so far as I know, didn't communicate with anybody on the staff. Certainly didn't communicate with me. I want to point out that the investigation by the House Select Committee on Assassinations was recommended by David Bellin, a member of our staff, after he learned that the CIA had concealed from us the fact that they were trying to assassinate Castro. So once again, staff members who were critical to the work of the commission were totally determined to find a conspiracy if there was one that existed.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.